Hello, Yugi tubers. It is ZeroMiss555 here, coming to you with a video. I just kind of realized I'm not doing this. I'm trying to do more videos lately, but I just realized I'm not doing as many videos as I should and could be doing. So what I'm going to be doing today is a couple things. I have a list. This is going to be the first video of my new featurette I'm going to be doing. It's going to be called Card of the Week. Card of the Week! And before that, I'm just going to talk about a few things. One is going to be the current format. Two is going to be next format. Three is going to be the ban list predictions of what I think might get hit. Or I hope will get hit. It's alright to say really spicy Doritos and they're killing me. Anyways, I'm going to start off. For the current format, I'm really not a fan of this format. There's several problems, I think. I think Tengu shouldn't have been made, but it was, so I really can't complain. Samurais are running quite rampant. Our Gravekeepers are still crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I think the format is diverse. I think this format, last format are quite diverse. But I still think that there are some things that need to be changed. I have some predictions for the next YCS and World Champs. I think World Champs. This is a guess, but I think the three decks that have the best shot of winning World Champs will be, since Tengu won't be legal there. I think that it's probably going to be either Machina gadgets will be really popular. Gravekeepers might be big because they're still good even without Recruiter. And the other one I think might do fairly well is just Plant Synchro without Tengu. Plants, I think still think the Plant Engine is way too good. It's quite broken. Spore is a problem. Gold Bulb is continuous pluses and yada yada yada. But yeah, those are my predictions. So next, I'll talk about the next format. I think that if the ban list is correctly, or it gets fixed, which usually happens every format. I think it'll be good for probably a couple weeks, like it usually is. But I think that after the new set gets released, we'll get some new broken exclusive that'll just screw things over all over again. I just think Konami needs to stop doing that. I think that they need to stop trying to make so much money off of this game and focus more on kind of complementing what they've already accomplished, and that's just like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of the highest selling games of all, or card games of all time. Yeah, anyways, and I'll go on to ban list predictions. For the ban list predictions, I think that there are some major things that need to get touched. I'm going to start off with Reborn Tengu, just because of this one I'm going to be talking about for a minute. Tengu actually won me a... I'm not going to say, like, obviously I played well as well, but Tengu was definitely the reason my deck did so well at the local champs that I won about a week ago. But I think Tengu, even though it is a exclusive, a TCG exclusive, I think the card is probably going to go to 2. It has happened before, guys. I don't know if any of you remember, but Allure of Darkness, when we got it before the OCG did, it was at 3, it was way too good, and it went down to 2. It's at 1 now, of course, but it went down to 2 first, and I think Tengu is going to have the same treatment. It's not probably going to get banned. I don't think it's broken. I think at 3 it's an issue. 2, it's just a really good card. And being banned it just doesn't make sense. They want to make money off of it when it does come to the OCG eventually, so I think it's going to go to 2. Next card is TG Hyper Librarian. Hyper Librarian, I think at the next YCS, going back to my predictions of what might win, that and World Champs, I think that Doppelplants are going to be seeing a lot of play there. I just think Hyper Librarian is a little too easy to abuse in that deck. That and Fableds. I think Fableds will have a really good outing because they get just so many pluses and they can just swarm the field. So yeah, Librarian probably... Some people are saying it needs to get banned. I don't think it needs to get banned. I think when it's at 2, it's a problem. I think at 1, it's just a good card. But the thing is, you have to leave it on the field, and it's only 2,400. It's fairly easy to get around. There's lots of 1-outs to it, like Smashing Ground, Dark Hole, so Book of Moon, whatever. And yeah, there's always big boss monsters. Monarchs get over it, whatever. So I don't think Librarian's gonna be too big of an issue. Yeah, so Librarian to 1, Tango to 2. The next card, actually, and I know some people have been talking about this, is Lone Fire Blossom. Lone Fire Blossom's at 2. The Plant Engine that most decks, and I think the majority of decks are running Tengu and Plant Engine nowadays, or either or. And the normal Plant Engine that we all see is 2 Lone Fire, Dandelion, Glow Bulb, and Spore. And I think that the Plant Engine is really... Go lie down. Go lie down. I think the Plant Engine is really balanced, but I think at the same time, because of Tengu, it's a little broken. It's just... there's too many pluses from it. Lone Fire fills up the graveyard too fast for Avarice, which I'll get to in a second. And the card's just too good. I could just grab too many good cards. Now, some people might argue that Lone Fire Dandy isn't exactly the strongest opening play because it kind of sets you up for an easy Trish and whatnot, but I still think Lone Fire might get hit. Other than that, the next card, of course, is Pot of Avarice. Lots of decks, a lot of decks, running 2 to 3 Avarice. Mostly 2, majority's 2, but surprisingly enough, I could actually see Avarice going to 1. I think that it's a really good card. That it's basically, it refuels your engine. It can refuel the the Tengu engine, and it can just refuel other cards that you normally wouldn't be able to use over and over again. So I really think planets are going to be getting hit hard. They are the top deck right now. I think Avarice might be one of those cards that might get touched. The next card that I'm going to talk about is Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. Now, a lot of people are saying because he got re-released in Gold Series 4 that he is going to be getting released, or he's going to get put back up to Limited, which is 1. And I actually think that might happen. I don't know if Chaos Sorcerer is going to go back down just to balance that out. But if you think about it, the card's not really as broken as it used to be. Now, it is really good in plants, but if the plant engine does get hit, then it won't be as fast as it was to get cards in the graveyard for his summon. The other thing is, his effect isn't as broken as some of you might remember it being, just because of some of the new cards that have released. His first effect is select one monster in the field and remove it from play. If you activate this effect, this card can attack during this turn, which is good, because his other effect is this card destroys opponent's monster by battle, can attack once again in a row. So you really have to decide if you want to attack. Yes, you get an extra 3,000 in there, which is huge, and a free 3,000 monster is pretty crucial. But I don't think it's basically just a better Chaos Sorcerer. I think that the card might come back to 1. I'm really not sure, but I guess we'll find out come September 1st. Next, I'm going to talk about Samurais and Gravekeepers. I think those are the 2 cards that are kind of ruling the meta right now. Gravekeepers, I think Royal Tribute needs to get banned. In the local champs, and I've played them at my regionals. It's one of the reasons I did so poorly in my first regionals I went to. Gravekeepers, Royal Tribute is broken. You go first. Even if you have a good opening hand, you set a monster, set 2 back rows, go. You might still have 2 or 3 monsters in your hand that you can't play. They tribute you. That's a +2. And if they don't, even if they tribute and they hit 1, they still get to see your hand. I think any card that basically is a confiscation, where you get to look at your opponent's hand and discard 1 card, or in Tribute's case more, will probably get hit. It did go down to 2, which I don't think was enough, but I guess that's because Gravekeepers aren't as big in Japan. They're still good there, but they are not as dominating as they are here in the TCG. But I really think Royal Tribute's going to go down to 2. I think if that happens, the deck will be a lot more balanced. It'll be a lot more playable. It still has great cards, and I think it's going to be really competitive. Now, the other card that I think helps the deck out a bit too much is Pot of Duality. Now, as some of you might have seen, Pot of Duality just got announced as a reprint. It's going to be a super rare in the Fall Tin lineup. And I'm actually very happy about that because I do play competitively, but I really didn't feel like trading away half my collection for a set of dualities, and I really didn't feel like trading or buying a piece of cardboard for $130 to $150. I just would never do that. To all of you that did do that, I feel bad for you. But it's Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think that you should all have expected that to happen. Excuse me. Sooner or later. But yeah, I think Duality is probably going to go to 2 just because it's getting reprinted. I know I've heard some people saying they want Warning to go to 1, but I really don't think... I think Warning is actually a very balanced card. I think the 2,000 life point cost is quite steep. I think it's the one reason also that Monster Reborn stayed around, but the biggest problem with that is Warning is a huge money card, much like Duality, and that not everybody can afford it. And it seems like right now, if you're not playing 2 Warnings, you're probably not going to do very well in a big competitive tournament. Example is you look at the top 32 of the past 3 YCSs, and I believe it's about 30 to 31 of the people running at least 1 Solemn Warning. I think it's about 25 or so. On average, we're running 2. So you need to run Solemn Warning this format, or you're probably not going to do as well as you'd hope. Moving on, onto Samurais. I'm not really sure what to hit in Samurais. I think that one of the biggest problems in the deck is probably Gateway still. I find that whenever I play these Samurais in person or on the Dueling Network, that if they drop that Gateway, especially turn 1, it's a big dice roll format. Now, some people might not agree with that, but I think it is. But if they drop that turn 1 Gateway, 6 Samurai United, summon Kageki, and you don't have that Effect Veiler in your hand, I think that you're going to have a very, very hard time getting around Samurai's opening play, where they get a plus off of the Gateway and off of the United, and from there on out, you're just gonna have a really hard time coming back with their Shien on the field, and they're probably gonna draw into Warnings and Musakani Magatama and all that garbage, and it's just a problem. So I honestly think that Gateway should be banned. I think the deck is very consistent without it, and you still have a hard time playing against Sams even if they don't open up with Gateway. And I think Shien's Dojo is it's no Gateway of the 6, but I think it's a nice substitution. But yeah, I think Gateway should go to 1. I heard some people saying they think Shien should get hit, but I really don't think Shien should get touched at all. I think he's fine. He's too easy to get around. There's Caius, Trishula, Chaos Sorcerer, whatever you have in your arsenal. There's lots of ways. Excuse me. Or you could just go raw power and just attack over him. 25 is not exactly massive, and I think that's why Machinas are doing extremely well right now, is Fortress could crash and then pop a card, and Gear Frame gets over Tengu, so I think Machinas have a solid shot for the win. Anyways, guys, that's my video. Make sure to subscribe and comment, and Zeramus555 signing out.